Are you having issues having an autistic kid trying to get a haircut in a hairdresser's? In this video, I'm counting down 5 of the best hacks you need so that by the end of the video, you'll be able to have a successful trip to the hair salon coming up. These tips and strategies are the exact ones that hundreds of parents and autistic people have used to have successful trips to the hairdressers. This isn't like rubbish you read on blogs that just doesn't work. These are actually actionable tips that actually work. Hey guys, welcome back to the Aspie world. My name is Dan. I have autism, ADHD, OCD and dyslexia. I make weekly videos on this content. So if you're new around here and you want to learn more, remember to hit the subscribe button by clicking that notification bell so you see all of my videos. And if you're watching over on Facebook, be sure to hit the like and follow button to see daily videos from me. So many people have issues with hairdressers if you're on the autism spectrum. It could be a child, it could be an autistic adult, and these tips I'm going to share can be used across the board. They can be used for your kid to get them used to hairdressers and hairdressing, or they can be used for you if you're an autistic adult and an autistic person just wanting to have a better experience in the hairdressers. Okay, so before we get started, I'd just like to ask a question because I love talking to you guys and I read and respond to every single comment. So if you can comment down below, let me know, do you go to a salon/barbers, or do you go at home? Do you stay at home and do your own hair at home, or have someone come and visit you at home? I'd love to know, home or salon. Let me know in the comment section below and let's get talking. Oh, also guys, I have a list of like autism must-have essentials in the description below. So if you want to check that out, there may be something that can help you in your life. Okay, so this is hack number 1, and I find that this one is super helpful, and I know that it will help because I use this same hack for other things, not just like visiting the hair salon. So if you know that your kid is going to have some discomfort in going to a hair salon, or maybe it's the first time and that you're apprehensive about them going to a hair salon or a barber's for the first time, and you think, how's this going to play out? Is it going to be any good? The best hack here is to have your child and you watch YouTube videos on people visiting hair salons and having their hair done, because by doing this, you're going to enlighten them and show them that, you know, it's not a traumatic experience, not at all. You know, it's just, you know, you go to a hairdresser's, you sit down in a chair, they cut your hair, then they wash it maybe, and then they go somewhere else. So by actually viewing it visually, because people on the autism spectrum are visual thinkers and they like to see things in its full visual context, because explaining something is one thing, but actually seeing it is a totally different experience. And people on the autism spectrum actually prefer seeing those. You know, if you're trying to explain something, you'd better show a video or draw a picture, or better still draw a cartoon and show them how it goes. But nothing beats actually seeing somebody go to a hairdresser's, because that's going to give you the best result. They're going to be able to say, oh yeah, you know, that's a hairdresser's, that's a seat, you know, that's a hairdresser, I sit in the seat, and you get the whole context of the actual thing. Because at the end of the day, what you're trying to do is reduce the amount of stress and anxiety related to that trip and that visit. It's not just visits to hair salons that kind of cause people on the autism spectrum to have, you know, freakouts or meltdowns or whatever. It actually could be a trip to the store. It could be a trip to a parent's house if, you know, you're visiting grandparents or something. But in terms of like hairdressing in salons, it's always a big issue because of the sensory processing disorder that comes with autism, that kind of overshadows all of the enjoyment that you can get out of doing something because of the sensory issues. Not only that, it's the actual understanding of, hey, this is what I'm going to do and this is how I do it, which is why I strongly believe that watching videos on YouTube is the way to go. And hey, you're watching on YouTube or Facebook right now, so what difference does it make to just go and type in like, hey, hairdressing trip to the salon and show like the sequence? This hack is a brilliant hack. It's used for many things. Like I said, I use this for all kinds of stuff. So if I'm going to a new airport or a new train station, then I will actually look at videos of people walking around and doing like a tour of those buildings and stuff before I actually go there to that place, because by having some familiarity with it, it would be amazing. So better still, showing the actual video footage of the hair salon would be amazing. Even if, like, you know, you went there a couple of days before and took a video inside the hairdressers, inside the salon or the barbers or whatever, and just showed around the video and showed somebody getting their hair done, and then you could show them the actual place that they'll be going to. Again, visual learning and visual thinking is the way to go with autism. Stop! Okay guys, before we go any further, I just want to say that I'm actually after some more friends on Twitter and Instagram. So if you have Twitter and Instagram, go give me a follow right now. I usually follow back on Twitter anyway, so please go and do that right now. It'll be super awesome. I love having new friends on Instagram and Twitter. My links for that are in the description below. Do that now. Okay, so hack number 2. Super important. This one is taking a timer with you. And you think like, Dan, why are you taking a timer? Because let's put it this way. In terms of autism, there is some things that we don't know. Like we don't know how long something is going to take. We don't know how long that is going to be stressful for or distressed. So if you can see an end to it, then we know that like that's a task that we're going to do and we're going to complete within this amount of time. So you set a timer for, I don't know, wherever it takes, 15 to 10 minutes that it's going to take to cut hair. So you set the timer, you click go, and then you just let the timer go, and then the child or the person on the spectrum can watch the timer and knows that by the end that time is done, the haircut is over. It's not going to last an eternity, because sometimes it's hard to actually think about how long something is going to take without any visual representation. So having a timer to show that there's this amount of time left and you've already done that amount of time would be absolutely golden for anybody on the autism spectrum wanting to go to a hairdressing salon or a barber's or anything like that and have a successful trip. So remember, take a timer. I highly suggest using kind of like one of those like egg timers that you just click and turn so that like it rings a little bit when it comes to the end, but make sure it's a soft, not harsh ring as well, because you don't want to actually scare the person on the spectrum or scare the person doing the hair if they were just finishing up as that timer goes. But it's a good way to keep track of things, and this hack actually can be transposed and used for anything that you want to kind of keep track of and say, hey, we're going to go here for 10 minutes and this is how we're going to time it, or even having them hold a stopwatch that shows after 10 minutes, boop, it's done. So remember, find a timer, take the timer with you, and just make sure that the salon are cool with you actually using a timer to time the amount of time that your child or the person you're with spends in that chair. The result of using this timer, well, the person on the autism spectrum will feel a bit more in control, and they'll feel more relaxed, and they will have a better experience, and they'll feel better because they're able to know that that is them keeping track of time and that it's only for that short amount of time. So definitely do the timer, and just pick a timer that you like. Like I said, a stopwatch or an egg timer. I prefer an egg timer, but a stopwatch would work as well. Because basically they're visual aids. We are always looking for visual aids within an autism spectrum condition. So like I said, drawing out things, showing videos, having a visual timer to show the passing of time for just that amount of time that you're doing something is very, very important. Visual aids are very important and are paramount to successful autism communication relationships. I did a video a few weeks ago all about autism apps and some of the most useful apps for people on the spectrum for like iPads and stuff. So if you'd like to see that video, I will leave it in a card above here so you can check that out. I will also leave it in the description below. So just scroll through the description and you'll see autism apps video link, and then you can click on that video and watch that. But highly recommend it. There's some awesome apps out there for people on the autism spectrum. Okay, so this is hack number 3. So we've been talking about visual representations and visual aids. Well, this one is a really, really good one. So say that you are having to book your appointment in the future. So you have an appointment next week for the hair salon, or you have an appointment next week to have your child's hair done. If you have a calendar on your wall, or I actually advise getting a calendar on your wall or having a calendar app on your tablet or phone, and then use an emoji or a symbol like a sticker, or draw on a visual representation of the hair salon on that day, so that every day that they can see when the hairdressing salon day is coming up, and they know, oh, it's tomorrow, or it's in 3 days, or you can count, you can show them visually, this is today, but tomorrow we're in the hair salon, because there's a little sticker that shows the hair salon, or I've drawn a picture of the hair salon on there. This is very, very good because it gets them into the mindset that thinking, okay, I know what I'm going to do tomorrow, kind of like a now and next. Like now I'm here and I'm not in the hair salon, and then on that day or tomorrow or whenever it is on your calendar, that is when I'm in the hair salon. And it gets them into that routine and knowing that that is going to be when they are going to the hair salon. It's very important to have that knowledge of knowing what's happening now and then what's happening next, so there's no surprise, because the last thing you want is to be like, okay, so we watched a video last week on hair salons, or we're going to one today, and that's not going to work at all. That's going to be very freak out, meltdown prone. It's going to have so many flaws. You can't just spring surprises on someone in the autism spectrum. They need to know in advance, planned and structured schedule. So having a visual representation, I can't stress how important it is. A visual representation, like a little kind of like hairdressers or somebody having their hair done emoji even on your calendar, super important. Very, very simple to do, and everybody has like emojis on their phones and their apps and stuff like that, so definitely check that out. But like I said, you can also buy like a pack of stickers probably online that will be like different things like hair salons or whatever, or like a comb or scissors or whatever, and you can put that on your physical calendar if you've got one at home. Or if you're feeling artistic, just draw one on. I know that my partner Naomi, she would probably draw one on for you know, if we had a kid that was on the spectrum, she'd probably just draw one on anyway. So because she loves like artsy stuff like that. So depending on how creative you are feeling, that would be super, super awesome. But again, I can't stress visual representation, very important, and having a calendar to show that, that's the key. Hey guys, just before we get into hack number 4, if you're enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up, because by giving that thumbs up, it really helps me out and it helps me know that you enjoy these videos and I could do more. Also, I'm always trying to get my videos past 400 thumbs up. So if you can click that little box down below, click thumbs up, that would be super amazing. I'd be forever grateful for it. So thank you so much in advance for clicking that thumbs up button. Okay, so number 4, this one's super, super cool, and I think this is vitally important. I should have probably done this one first, but I think that this one is, you could combine a lot of different things, a lot of the hacks together in hack number 4, but hack number 4 is very much one that is paramount. And this is simply this. If you're a mum and dad and you have a child on the spectrum, then have mum or dad visit the hair salon and have a haircut and film that, or take your child with you so they can see what happens in the hair salon to one of their parents. So it's one thing seeing a video of somebody having a haircut or visiting a hair salon, but if you actually see your mum or dad or brother or sister or whatever go to the hair salon and have a haircut in that salon, and they know, and you can see that, okay, well, there's no pain involved, it's only a short amount of time, it's actually very easy, you just sit in a chair, I can follow that, and you know, dad's happy or mum's happy and everybody seems to be getting along. That in itself is golden. My advice for if you didn't want to scare your kid by taking them there, you know, with somebody else to see them doing it physically, take like your phone and video mum or dad or brother and sister or cousin or whatever having their hair done and making that video. Then you can come home and show them that video. Just like I said about, you know, going on YouTube and looking for hair salon videos. The beauty of this would be that you're combining the fact that they are seeing the exact salon that they're going to, they're seeing one of their family members or somebody they love having a nice easy time there, and they're seeing exactly how the thing is laid out, how it happens, and you know, dad's happy after this, before and after the haircut, so it's absolutely fine. So with that, I would say you have to do that like a paramount. I think like everybody should do that. If your kid is scared of hair salons, do that, you know, do that anyway, because then you have that, you can always refer to that video and say, okay, just watch this video, look, we can see, you know, dad's fine or mum's fine and it's all good. So recording it, a family trip to there is going to be amazing, definitely the best one for you guys, and I think that it's probably visually one of the best ways you can do it, because it's visually and emotionally compelling for the person on the spectrum, and we're all about visual and emotional compelling aids. Awesome. So hey, if you think that this video is valuable to people and can add value to other people's lives, please can you share it on your Facebook and Twitter page and Instagram stories if you can, just to help spread the word and tell people about this video, because then you'll be helping somebody else out, and that's awesome. Okay, so hack tip number 5. This one's a really interesting one. So whenever I'm out in public or I have to do something where I'm around a lot of people or a noise that I don't like, I wear noise cancelling headphones. Now I have 2 types. I have the Apple AirPods, which is these ones, and I also have Bose headphones, which are these ones. These are both noise cancelling headphones. These are both noise cancelling headphones, but they're a little different. These ones like in-ear small ones, and then these are over the head kind of more protective ones. I've used both of them on a plane, and these ones block out more noise on a plane than these ones, which gets me to my point about hack number 5. Now, hack number 5 is to simply do this. Have earplugs that you can take and put in your kids' ears, or in your ears in certain cases, so that when they're using like the buzz clipper trimmer thing, you know, the thing that makes a noise like, well, when they're using that noise can be quite sensory triggering to people on the spectrum. But if you have earplugs in that blocks out that noise, that might make the whole experience a little more comfortable, and you'll be able to sit there and enjoy that a little bit more. Because I feel like noise and sensory issues are one of the big issues why people on the spectrum have a hard time when they're in places like hair salons and hairdressers and things like that. Because, you know, you're cutting hair and that like high-pitched, you know, chopping of the scissors, and then also the high-pitched buzzing of the actual clippers that they're using to like buzz cut your hair or whatever. Those things can be really triggering, and I always say to people that if sound is one of your issues, always have noise cancelling headphones. I'll leave a link for both the Bose and the Apple ones down below, so you can like take your pick between them, because, you know, not everyone is going to be suited for everybody, but one of these should suit you. But by doing that, you're going to be able to greatly reduce the issues, anxieties, the meltdowns that could be caused from sensory processing disorder overload because of clippers or something of that nature within the barber's or the hairdresser's, salon. Okay guys, so I am actually going to give you a bonus number 6. Now this one is a very, very prominent one. I mean, if this is one of the first things you should do if you are planning on, say you've moved to a new city, or you've been doing your kid's hair up until now, or you've been doing your own hair up until now, and you want to go to a salon, or you want to take your kid to a salon. This is the first thing I would do. Find an understanding hairdresser. Find a hairdresser or a barber or whatever that understands special needs and specific needs and additional needs. Because by going somewhere that understands autism and understands special needs and understands specific needs for other people and specific issues that people may have, you're already opening yourself up to somebody who's not going to look at you in a different way. They're not going to think any less of you. They're not going to potentially look at you like you're doing something crazy by putting earplugs in, or like, if you're watching YouTube videos while you're getting your hair done, they're not going to judge you, but they're also going to do everything within their power to help you. And that is very, very important, because if you have a rapport with somebody who cares and understands special needs, then they're going to be able to make a more comfortable experience, more comfortable environment, a more comfortable event for you when you go there to get your haircut, which I find is super valuable and can be very, very life-changing for somebody on the spectrum. Because if I was going somewhere when I was a kid to hairdressers, and the hairdresser was very friendly and knew about me and knew about my issues, I'd feel so much more comfortable in that environment. I'd feel more relaxed, and then I'd be probably more eager to want to go and get my haircut, because I'd be like, well, this person gets me, they know how I am, and that's fine. I don't have to like pretend or mask or do any of those other kind of horrible things. So that is very paramount. So try and find a hairdresser that understands, or that you explain to, then they understand, and they kind of have a good rapport with you and your kid, or just with you if you're an autistic person going to get your hair done, in a salon or whatever. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and check out some of my other videos. I will leave a link here so you can see my next video. Okay guys, peace.